Bert and Beth's Busy Day. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. In the morning, Grandpa asked, "Who loves cereal for breakfast?"
We do!
cried Bert and Beth. Before lunch, Grandpa asked, "Who likes watering the flowers?"
We do!
cried Bert and Beth. After lunch, Grandpa asked, "Who forgot their toys on my armchair?"
We did!
cried Bert and Beth. Before dinner, Grandpa asked, "Who loves walking in my slippers?"
We do!
cried Bert and Beth. After dinner, Grandpa asked, "Who drew this beautiful picture for me?"
We did!
cried Bert and Beth. Just before bedtime, Grandpa asked, "And who loves his grandkids up to the moon and back?"
You do!
cried Bert and Beth. Bert and Beth look at the stars. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. One summer evening, Bert, Beth, and Grandpa were sitting on the porch and watching the stars.
Are the stars far away, Grandpa?
asked Bert. "Yes," said Grandpa. "Very, very far away."
Farther away than the lake?
asked Beth. "Much farther," said Grandpa.
Farther away than the forest?
asked Bert. "Much farther," said Grandpa. To get to the stars, you need a spaceship that travels very, very fast, said Grandpa.
When we grow up, we'll fly to the stars in a spaceship,
said Beth.
and we'll take you with us.
Thanks, said Grandpa. I've always wanted to visit a star. Making the Pie. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. All summer long, Bert, Beth, and Grandpa worked in their pumpkin patch. They pulled weeds and watered the plants. In the fall, they helped Grandpa pick the biggest pumpkin in the patch. Then they wheeled it to the house and got to work. It was time to make a pie. Bert stirred the spices into the pumpkin, and Beth rolled the pie crust. When the pie was ready, Grandpa put it into the oven.
Grandpa,
said Bert,
may we invite our friends over to share our pie?
Good idea, said Grandpa. Let's all have dinner together too. So Bert and Beth called their friends. When their friends arrived, everybody sat down to eat. Then, after dinner, Grandpa served their homemade pumpkin pie.
Delicious! Delicious!
Cried all their friends. As everyone headed home, Beth cried, Next time, we'll make apple pie. One winter day. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. A lot of snow fell last night, said Grandpa. Would you kids like a ride on the sled?
Oh, yes!
Cried Bert and Beth. Grandpa pulled Bert and Beth on the sled. They went around and around. I'm getting tired, said Grandpa. Let's take a little rest.
Okay,
said Bert.
We'll give you a ride, Grandpa. Come on, Beth.
So Grandpa climbed onto the sled.
Oh, no!
Cried Beth.
We can't move the sled.
I have an idea, said Grandpa. Let's climb that hill. Then we can ride down together. And they did.
Whee!
Bert and Beth play basketball. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. Bert and Beth were having fun playing basketball with their friends. Hey, kids, said Grandpa as he came down the back steps. Let's go to the lake. It's such a nice sunny day.
But we're in the middle of our game,
said Bert.
We want to finish it.
I've got a great idea, said Grandpa. You can finish your game at the lake. So Grandpa and the kids went to the lake. The kids finished their game, and everybody stayed nice and cool. Bert, Beth, and Their Shadows. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. One sunny day, Bert and Beth went to the beach with their grandfather.
Look, Beth, my shadow follows me everywhere,
said Bert.
My shadow follows me too,
said Beth.
Let's have a race with our shadows,
said Bert.
Okay,
said Beth.
Look, Beth, my shadow can jump over rocks. Look, Bert, my shadow can do silly tricks. I'm going to catch my shadow,
cried Beth.
Me too,
cried Bert. Kids, sit down here in the shade, said Grandfather. Your shadows need a little rest. Bert, Beth, and the Sandcastle. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. Bert and Beth were having a great day at the beach. They played in the water. They ate lunch. And then they decided to make a sandcastle.
Let's make a really big one this time,
said Beth. When they had finished, Bert said,
Grandpa, look! Do you like our sandcastle?
Wow, said Grandpa. That's the biggest one you've ever made. It looks like a real castle. He walked around the castle and then peeked in one of the windows. I would love to live there, said Grandpa.
You can't live there,
said Bert.
Our castle is not big enough. But don't worry, Grandpa. Tomorrow, we will build a bigger one just for you,
said Beth. Bert, Beth, and the Rocking Chair. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. One day, Grandfather made a rocking chair for Bert and Beth. Bert rocked on the rocking chair. Beth rocked on the rocking chair. Then they both rocked on the rocking chair. Bert and Beth called their friends. They all had fun on the rocking chair. Until it broke. Don't cry, kids, said Grandfather. I'll make a new rocking chair for you and your friends. And he did. Let's pretend. Story and Art by Valerie Gorbachev. One day, Bert and Beth took their cars and trucks outside.
Look, I'm making roads,
said Bert.
and these pine cones can be the houses,
said Beth.
Wow,
said Bert.
the ants like our roads too. Those ants are so small,
said Beth.
I bet they look at us and think we are giants. We are giants,
said Bert.
Let's pretend we're so big that we can see over the tops of the houses. We can walk through the river without getting our clothes wet,
said Beth.
And we're taller than all the trees in the forest,
said Bert. When the giants got home, Grandpa said, "Hi, little ones. What did you do today?"
We weren't little ones today. We were giants,
said Beth. Then it sounds as if you're ready for some giant sandwiches, said Grandpa. Let's eat. Bert and Beth travel far, far away. Story and Art by Valerie Gorbachev.
Grandpa,
said Bert.
what can we do today?
Well, what would you like to do? Asked Grandpa.
I'd like to fly somewhere in a hot air balloon,
said Bert.
I'd like to sail in a beautiful boat on the sea,
said Beth. I love adventures too, said Grandpa. Come with me. Grandpa, Bert, and Beth sat down under their favorite tree. And all afternoon, they listened while Grandpa read exciting stories about faraway places. Who will play with me? Story and Art by Valerie Gorbachev.
Hey, Bert,
said Beth.
do you want to play animals with me? Not now. I'm building,
said Bert.
Grandpa, will you play animals with me?
Asked Beth. Sure, said Grandpa. I love animals. But why aren't you playing with Bert?
Because I want to play with my animals. He wants to build with his blocks.
I have an idea, said Grandpa. Let's go talk to Bert. They went to the bedroom, and Grandpa said, Bert, how about building a zoo for Beth's animals?
That's a great idea, Grandpa. Come on, Beth. Let's play together.
And they did all afternoon.